The sun had barely risen when Elias Montero's life changed forever. He had woken up with the same fire in his chest he carried for years, the hope of finally getting a stable job, finally giving his mother a break from the endless shifts she worked, and finally proving to himself that he was capable of more than the world expected from a poor boy raised in a forgotten neighborhood. But fate has a strange way of testing those who dare to dream, and Elias would learn that some blessings arrive disguised as losses. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of doing what's right even when no one is watching, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Grandma's book. Elias had left home early, buttoning his only formal shirt, light blue, slightly worn at the collar, but ironed with love by his mother. The interview at Lumen Tech, one of the largest companies in the region, was his chance to escape the cycle of scarcity. He practiced answers in his mind as he walked toward the bus stop, repeating the values he believed in: integrity, perseverance, humility, hoping they would be enough. But as he approached the intersection near the company, he saw a girl standing helpless on the roadside. She was around 20, wearing a white sweater and black jeans, and visibly trembling as she leaned against a small scooter that had clearly broken down. Cars flew past her without slowing, horns blaring. She seemed lost, scared, and completely alone. He hesitated. He was already running late. Every second mattered. One wrong impression, and the job he had chased for months could disappear. But then the girl wiped her eyes with the back of her hand, failing to hide her frustration. Something inside Elias wouldn't let him walk away. So he ran toward her. Under the bright morning daylight, he knelt beside the scooter, calmly reassuring her. He checked the engine, tightened a loose cable, and after a few minutes, got it to start. Her eyes widened with relief. She tried to thank him, but Elias was already stepping back, apologizing that he needed to run for an interview. He didn't know her name. He didn't know her story. He didn't know that she was Helena Vasquez, daughter of the CEO who owned the very company he was heading to. By the time Elias arrived, sweat trickling down his temples, his shirt sticking to his back, the interview door was already closed. The receptionist informed him coldly that late arrivals were not accepted. He tried to explain, but the panel had moved on. His chance was gone. The job he dreamed of, gone because he chose to help a stranger. He stepped outside, sat on the curb, and let the disappointment crash into him. He replayed the moment again and again, wondering if he had made a mistake. But beneath the frustration, he knew he hadn't. His heart simply didn't allow him to ignore someone in need. It was who he was. Still, the loss hurt. 4 days, Elias returned to small freelance jobs, fixing old bicycles, repairing worn-out appliances, patching electrical issues in homes that could barely afford him. He kept smiling, kept walking, kept pushing forward, but the weight of that lost interview clung to his shoulders. Meanwhile, Helena couldn't forget him. She replayed his kindness in her mind, the gentle way he spoke, how he reassured her without expecting anything, how he left before she could properly thank him. She had gone to her father, CEO Augusto Vasquez, insisting they find him, but the company was large, and identifying every candidate who applied wasn't simple. Days passed before Helena spotted him again, this time repairing wires on a street light near a park. She approached him timidly, but when Elias saw her, he froze in confusion. Helena explained everything, who she was, what her father did, and how she had been looking for him. Elias felt his heart sink. He had helped the CEO's daughter without realizing it. The situation felt surreal. But before he could apologize for anything, Helena grabbed his arms gently and shook her head. She had been angry, not at him, but at the strict company rule that cost him the interview. She insisted on taking him to her father. The next morning, Elias walked into Lumen Tech again, not as a desperate candidate, but as a guest being welcomed with warmth. CEO Augusto listened quietly as Helena recounted everything. Elias wondered if he would be judged, or worse, dismissed as someone trying to exploit the situation, but instead, Augusto leaned back in his chair, studying Elias with eyes that carried decades of leadership experience. He asked a few questions, not about Elias's resume, not about his degrees, but about his values, his decisions, and why he chose kindness over opportunity. And when Elias answered with simple honesty, Augusto smiled. He told Elias that the company didn't just need skilled people, it needed people who understood humanity. Then, without hesitation, he offered Elias not just the position he had originally applied for, but a better one, one that matched the integrity Helena had described. For the first time in years, Elias felt the weight on his mother's shoulders lift, felt the knot of worry inside him unwind. His life changed under the clean blue sky of a simple, ordinary day, a day that became extraordinary because kindness had come full circle.